Let's go, champ.
Yeah. So how did you get in Miami? Because you said it's been 10 years, right?
Yeah, brother, I came first as a J1 student on student exchange visa to DC. And then from there I came here for for training, and I liked it, and then I stayed.
Okay. And when did you start training?
In Serbia. Yeah, this was like my father was a big time fighter, and then we started we have a gym. And
so your whole family is fighting?
my father used to be like a big champion, and he broke his neck in a car accident.
Okay.
And then he teaches us, from the wheelchair. Yeah, me and my brother.
And when did you start training? Like since you were 3 or?
Literally when I was a baby, we started training step by step, and I started with soccer first, but every single time, kickboxing was always on the side, Any sport I did, I was always doing kickboxing also. And then I transferred to MMA whenever I moved to Kilcliff.
And when did you move here?
5 years ago. 4. Time flies.
5 years ago. And why the switch from kickboxing to MMA?
Because there was not so many fights. Nothing was happening, at that time, and I wanted to go to Glory, but nobody wanted to fight me in US because they heard whatever, Serbian, Russian, whatever, and people don't want to ruin the record, and then they don't want to fight, so I couldn't get fights, so I can go to Glory. And then I had one fight to Glory, but I was already deep inside MMA, so I wanted to see and continue MMA journey, see where it takes me.
So you're fighting in kickboxing events at the same time, or is it just
I did one fight last year with Glory Kickboxing. Yeah.
Okay. You're contracted with them to fight for more?
Yeah, I still have, yeah.
Okay, and what's your MMA situation right now?
I fight for FNC in Serbia. My first fight I had with PFL Contender Series. Second one I had with XFC, and the 2 last fights were big one. I did them in FNC. Is the biggest organization, one of the most growing organizations in Europe. And they're doing very, very good job, like when you walk inside the arena, it's like UFC, it's like nothing different. And the crowd is wild, it's like...
Have KSW contacted you? Because...
KSW, no, I think it was with Octagon, but I'm not sure. But I always wanted to go to UFC, since I'm here, so maybe I'm going to go to UFC now. I'm in talks with UFC, so...
Really? For the Dana White Contender Series or straight to
UFC?
Straight for the UFC. So what does your life look like right now in Miami? Do you train full time? Do you have a job?
Yeah. So Miami is, I always wanted Miami. Miami was my place where I always wanted to go, and it happened to be that Miami and Kilcliff are very close. So I live in Miami and then I come here for training.
You have a family in here?
I have my brother, and he has his family. He has a son and a daughter and a wife. But yeah, I live alone. I live at a nice place,
And why Miami and not any other place?
Miami was always a dream of me because it separates it from the rest of US. It's completely like the state by its own. You have the beach, you have everything is nice, people are nice, everybody trains, works out, sun is out.
Why not Los Angeles, for example?
I never tried California, but I don't think that will be my vibe. I like Miami. Miami was always the spot. I wanted to choose between New York and Miami, and New York was a spot where it was growing at the time, but it's nothing like Miami. Like Miami is the weather, everything.
Why did you start fighting? Why kickboxing? Because of your father?
So first, it started maybe of that, but I continued because I think it's who I am, I think kickboxing and fighting is what I am and what defines me. It's what I like doing and what I live for.
But why this specific sport? Why not boxing? Why not soccer?
I tried with boxing. Boxing was also an idea, but I was good at kickboxing. And I always liked kickboxing. And then MMA came to a scene. I had one shot. I was, after 6 months of training, I did fight with PFL Contender Series. And I don't know, I liked it, small gloves, it's much different audience, much faster pace,
Was it hard for you to leave the family and move to US?
When I lived first time, it was very hard because actually, let's take it back. When I came here, I was not planning that I was going to live here. I wanted to come just for a little bit time and then go back. But then, life has another, has another goal and another path. So that's here I am today, 10 years later.
Yeah. But you came here first, or your brother was already?
I came here first.
And together with your brother, or your brother
Alone.
joined you?
I came alone, and I always had it back on my head, the American dream, and I always wanted to go towards it, and you go step by step in life, and one door opens, another door closes. You're just gonna push it towards what you want in life, and then who you are.
How did you start your life in here? I imagine you were a student. You come, and what happened?
Yes. I was a student, and then I got sponsored by a boxing gym. Yeah, I got sponsored by a boxing gym, and it was an opportunity, and I said, why not? And step by step, I was pushing, training, fighting. Yeah.
Okay. And you stayed the whole time in Miami, or you moved around?
I was in Washington D.C. first for the 5 years. Yeah, I did Washington D.C. It was a nice place, beautiful city, beautiful people, but I think this, like Miami, suits me more. And when I was living in DC, I was coming to Henry Hooft here it was Hard Knocks, and then I was coming for training, and I liked it, and I always wanted to do it,
So why did you stay so long in Washington? Because it's 5 years, a long time.
Very, very long time. Yeah, it was. I was sponsored by that gym, and the life was good. I just stayed there, and it was always like, okay, one more year, one more month, one more year, but I was not planning to living there. Miami was, when I came to Miami, I decided this is where I want to stay.
Was it as you imagined before you came here?
No, it was much better. I thought Miami was only South Beach, but I saw other places. There is Brickell, there is many other places.
Yeah,
you can run next to the beach, you can walk, you can do a lot of stuff. A lot of people say Miami is not for a family, but I don't think so. You have so many places like Coral Gables, Sunny Isles. You can raise a family pretty well, maybe much better than where we grew up.
And it's much closer to Europe, right? Like the flights are shorter, it's cheaper.
Yes, I hope they have direct flight to Serbia, but they don't. They have direct flights only to Switzerland, Turkey, and I'm not sure how many places, but they are working towards making a flight from Miami to Serbia. That would be amazing. That's 10 flights, easy, 10 hours.
And how was your life in Serbia?
My life in Serbia was good. People have very second doubts about Serbia, but Serbia is a very beautiful country. It's not like you see it in movies. It's like Poland. It's developing very much. People are nice. People are walking on the street, saying nice things. Everybody looks nice. People are trying to look healthy, trying to live nice. So it's a beautiful country, beautiful nature. Yeah, I wanna go back sometime. Maybe when I finish everything, maybe Serbia is gonna be my place.
And your dad is still living there?
Yeah, my family lives there. They own the gym. They're working, towards the gym. And
so what's life growing up when basically your family owns a gym, kickboxing gym?
Yes, so it was. I was always the guy who didn't want to do whatever my family did. So if they did something, if they went left, I went right. I was always the opposite growing up. But then I always liked whatever other sport, just not kickboxing. But then I was always involved in the gym. And growing up, you see fighters, I see my father, then, maybe something, okay, I want to be like that. And then you try it out one, second time, third time, and you just create some imagination in your head and you go for it. And then, many other fighters came from my gym, and then growing up, I used to watch them fight and stuff, so why not?
And your dad wanted you and your brother
Never, he never wanted us to do that. I went to law school, law and security, I did that, but I stopped in third year. It was not for me.
I kind of did the same thing. I studied law for 2 years and I dropped out because I didn't feel
Not for me.
Yeah.
I never liked school so much.
Okay. But how did you split your time as a kid between the gym and school? But because I can imagine you were helping your dad with the business and also training.
Yes, but I was not the best student. I was a student who would find a way, but I was not the best student. I was not a student who is going to study too much.
You're doing the bare minimum, basically.
The bare minimum
just get
to pass. Yes, but You know, in nowadays, if you want to do some stuff, school is very important, but you can do much more without it. For what I do now, I'm not required to have school. But maybe in the future, you know, 50 Cent said, I didn't go to Harvard, but people who work for me did go to Harvard.
Yeah.
You know, there is many phrases, but you know, we all find whatever suits us.
Okay. And going back, like thinking about it, would you go the same way or would you change
Yeah,
something?
everything the same. Everything the same. I will not change a thing. Because, you know, every single bad and good thing, they shape you who you are. You cannot say, okay, I wish I have done that. Yeah, but if you did that, then you will not be, other things would follow that decision. So everything is for a purpose. And everything, I believe in life, everything comes from the reason. Even bad and good things.
So tell me about your relation with your brother, because he's a pro fighter as well.
Yes, he fights this weekend at Phoenix, Arizona. He's fighting undefeated Cuban fighter, and I hope he's gonna do good. He's my brother. He's my little brother. You know, he was always, you know, I love him more than I love myself. Like, we have a very close relationship.
How much younger is he?
He's 3 years younger. We're very different. Like, he's gonna show you the same exact fighting, completely different. Growing up, we were completely different. Now we're completely different, but we all like the same things. Like, we like fighting, but we do it differently. You know, the core values are the same, just maybe the paths to that are different.
Okay. And when did he start training? Like, what age?
He started younger than me. He had his first fight when he was 9 or something.
Wow.
Yeah, he started younger than me. He was much more talented in like kickboxing, and then I wanted to play soccer, so I was not too much involved. And then afterwards, like growing up, you know, we just started training harder together. And it's good when you have a brother, because there is always like you always have somebody to train with growing up. But now it's professional sport. Now I train here. He trains in his own boxing gym, so.
I talked to Zelinsky brothers yesterday, and their father told me they are not allowed to spar. They never sparred in their
When
whole
we sparred, my father used to kick us in the gym after 5 minutes, because it's gonna be like a brawl. We actually get in a fight. It was every single time when we were young, when we fight, when we train and we start sparring, it's gonna be, I hit him harder, he hits me harder, and then it's like, and then my father needs to kick us out of the gym, and it was always like a war zone. So then we stopped training together. Then he was like, we were doing bag and drills, holding pads, but then we didn't spar.
But he allowed you to train and spar.
Yeah, of course. Why not? That builds you.
Their father said he don't want to create any feeling of competition between the brothers, especially that they are both world champions. And he said, like, they know everything about each other when it comes to the style, so they are not going to benefit from sparring each other. Mm-hmm. So they can train, they can do paths and technique, but they are not allowed to spar.
Yeah, I think as a kid, you're not thinking too much what style somebody has. You're not too intelligent to know the fighting as we know now.
Yeah, but you were in a unique position where your father was the coach.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Your whole family was.
Yes. But I'm saying, when you put kids, I would definitely give them. I think also when you fight as a young kids, you develop that like the heart, you know. And I think also, even when you spar with your brother, that doesn't mean that you're gonna kill him. It's like training. It's like sparring. So I don't think that's a bad idea, you know. But everybody has its own philosophy of why they do stuff, you know. Like you have Lionel Messi, you have Cristiano Ronaldo. They have completely different lifestyles. Then you have me and my brother. We always, like Klitschko brothers also. Like I don't think it's bad to spar your brother, but if you as a kid and as an adult are two different sparrings. As an adult, you know what you're doing. As a kid, you don't actually know what you're doing, so it's bare minimum chances that you're actually going to hurt each other because you're so young. But yeah, we never had a bad blood. Like I love my brother more than I love myself, you know. It's all what core values you have, you know. If you're.
But as a kid, was there a rivalry, like trying to, you know, in front of your father?
No. I was younger. I was older brother. He was younger brother, so it was never. No, like it was always like normal, yeah.
Okay.
We never had like rivalry. I wish something bad to my brother or something. Like no, it's like I will go all the way for my brother, and he will do the same for me.
Okay. And if you had kids, would you want to raise them the same way? Would you put them in training early
I
age?
will put them in training early age just to be ready for life, but I would not like them to be fighters. I would like them to be something else.
Why?
Because it requires a lot of things, and I think there are better things to do in life. You know, even though this is a gladiator sport, is the best thing that happened to me. On a second note, you know, I know how dangerous it is. I will not, like, I don't like to watch my brother fight. I don't like to watch nobody that is close to me fight. I like when I fight. I like because I'm very confident in myself. I know what I can do, and I know how tough I am. But I don't like to see none of my family fight. I will fight for everybody, but I will not see somebody fight for me.
Why is it like that? What
I don't know,
do you think? What do you feel when you see the?
I just don't like, because you're unable to do nothing. You know, like, okay, preparation is being done and everything, but when somebody of yours fight and you just can't do nothing, it's different. But when somebody fights and you're hurt, you know, then okay, but it's a rough sport, brother. It's a very rough sport. It's unforgivable, you know. But we're all adults. We all choose our paths. So you cannot say no to nobody. Everybody does whatever they want, you know. That's life. I can't tell my brother don't do this or that. He's 30 years old. He can do whatever he wants. But I'm here to give him an advice.
When he had worse moments in fights, did you blame yourself for not cornering him properly or
I
something?
mean, there is always a blame that you take for. Yeah, but not really. Yes and no. Yes and no. It's not very answerable question, because he has his own team now, and you know, when they say something and he doesn't listen or the opposite, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I haven't actually blamed myself for something that he did. Like I said, you know, he's an adult. He's 30 years old. But yeah, I'm always there to support him. He's always there to support me, you know. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. And tell me more about your father. What was growing up with him?
My father is a big champion. He's like in sport and in life, you know. He's like, he developed even from the wheelchair. Like, he owns a gym. He's doing stuff. He never stopped living, you know. And he doesn't talk much, but when he says something, it's the right thing, you know. So you listen. He's very smart, very intelligent individual.
Did you want to impress him? Meaning, because he was a champion, did you want to, you know, be more impressive in the sport?
Of course, yeah. I wanted to be. Well, growing up, I wanted to be like him. But then now I want to make him proud. Like, I'm doing this. He's the biggest reason why I'm still doing this sport. Yeah, literally the biggest reason why I still do it. Yeah, I don't think I would do it without it. Yeah, I think, I don't know what I would do, but I don't think I would push this much without him. Yeah, he's like, in fighting, he's my biggest support. But he doesn't talk much. He's like, he just tells you what you should be, you know, and then you go towards it.
Does he lead professional fighters in Serbia?
He used to, now not anymore, because he does other stuff. But when we were young, he used to have every champion of Serbia in every weight class. We used to have one in my gym. So before me and my brother, he had many, like, who knows, in Europe, that was like Waco, WKO. He had many European world champions. So he's a very good coach.
Can you talk a bit more about the accident? What happened?
Yeah, he had a car accident. Yeah, nothing special. He was driving with his friend going to Bulgaria, flip of the road down to the bushes, and that's it. Life changes.
And he became paralyzed?
Paralyzed, yes.
And when was that?
2000.
2000. So you were still kids?
I was very young, yes. I was 7, 8 years old. Yeah, my brother was even smaller.
And how did this impact you? Like, what?
Hey, brother, it's life. I don't even remember, you know, like, you just adapt to it. You can't, you know, like, there is always an excuse that you can make in life. especially from his side, like my mom could have said, I'm going my direction, you know, and take the kids like most women are doing. You know?
Yeah.
We stayed as a family, strong bond, strong family, and that's it. Real core values.
Well, where do you think it comes from? It comes from being raised in Serbia. It comes from your family, like grandparents. Where
Mostly, maybe my grandparents, but I think that's a proper way to raise your children. I don't know other ways, so I cannot tell you. You know, but here in America, I see a lot of ways of raising children. I think the way me and my brother were raised it was with a lot of love, so we didn't miss anything. You know, even though my father was in a wheelchair, we never missed anything in life. I don't think that, you know, thank God it is what it is, but we didn't miss anything. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, but you need to have very strong parents for that. Like, I'm blessed that they were like that, that they're like that, you know.
Yeah, but I can imagine the pressure and maybe also a bit of guilt when you moved to Miami must have been big. And I'm telling this because my dad is also a bit sick. And when I started traveling and I moved abroad, I had this sensation that even though I'm always available and helping, I still felt a bit guilty that, you know, I should have stayed in Poland and be there all the time.
So I'll tell you how I feel. I don't feel guilt at all. I feel that I'm doing the right thing for me and my family. If I stayed in Serbia, who knows where my path would be, you know. So every decision, like I told you earlier, affects your future. So if I stayed in Serbia, I don't think I would be maybe like as big of a fighter if I'm right now. Who knows if I would even be a fighter? Who knows what else would do? So if I'm doing the best for myself, I think then I'm doing the best for my parents. You know, they're not missing anything besides us. They're coming here every 6 months. They stay here for 6 months, go back. They have a nice life. So and maturity is realizing that not every single time in your life you can be with everybody. You know, sometimes you gotta go as a lone wolf, then you gotta come back to your pet. So that's life, you know.
Yeah, I heard this saying that I will take care of myself so you can take care of you, right? Like
yeah. If I stayed in Serbia, what I would do, you know, there is always a question. If I stayed, you never know, you know, life is unpredictable. Here I am, like I fight now, you know, I'm most likely gonna be signed by UFC. So if that makes him proud, you know, then I think that's biggest accomplishment of his life. If I stayed in Serbia, I don't think I would do that. In my city, it's almost impossible. And back then, MMA didn't even exist when I started fighting. It was only, like, it was not at this level, you know. I would do kickboxing, but like I said, who knows where life would get you.
Do you think as a fighter you can have family, or first you gotta be this lone wolf and succeed? And I'm asking because you mentioned your brother, who is also a professional fighter, but he has family.
Yes.
You don't, so you can see the contrast, but you're doing the same thing.
Yes, but I don't think it's all by choice. You know, you have to be lucky to make a family. You cannot just make a family with somebody just to make a family. That's my decision, because then divorce happens immediately. You know, like but that's also like in life. You cannot marry some girl just because you want to marry her. I mean, to me, that's your decision. You have to marry out of, you know, whatever values you have. So my thing is, maybe patient is gonna save me free. Somebody gets married in 20, divorced at 25. Somebody marries at 30, stays forever. So that's all depending on, you know, how lucky you are. If you're lucky to find a wife that's gonna be a good wife, then you're lucky, man. I don't think, like, you have so many good fighters that are married. I don't think marriage is gonna slow you down. I don't think so. And it's all, brother, it's all what you want in life. Like, I feel good being alone now. I feel good, you know, maybe having tomorrow wife, girlfriend, whatever.
Okay. And why is your brother not training here?
He's a boxer, and this is MMA gym. So he's training in a big boxing gym in Fort Lauderdale. It's called Centennial. So he trains there now, and he likes it there, so he's there. Yeah.
Okay. And why did you choose Kill Cliff out of AKA?
That was my gym. Like, I always liked Henry Hoof, Tyrone Spong, you know, like these big names, watching videos on Instagram, YouTube as a kid. And then I wanted to come and train once, and I actually like it. And I see I could do it. And my idea is, if I can fight and spar these guys, why I cannot do it? And Ongla told me once, I came here first time and then I was taking pictures with the fighters. He was like, don't do that. I was like, why not? And he said, be the one that people are taking pictures with, don't take the pictures. So Ongla kind of changed the perspective of the way I was thinking. And since that moment I changed completely, like I was like, yeah, he's right. Yeah, why is somebody better than me? They're not. And then, you know, then I started doing wrestling.
And how's grappling and wrestling for you?
First bad, second very bad. Now it's getting better. Now, yeah, now I'm actually good. Yeah, I can handle like a lot of pressure and a lot of stuff. I can do much more than I used to.
But do you consider yourself a striker or
striker?
You will always be a striker.
I was always going to be a striker. I don't like wrestling. I'm never going to take people down. Maybe it's going to be a surprise, but I'm never going to take them down. It's mostly going to be punches, kicks, knees to the face and stuff.
How did you finish your fights so far?
2 knockouts and 2 decisions. First fight decision, second fight knockout, third fight knockout. My last fight decision, 3 rounds. So not bad.